My name is Doug Yarholar. Our business is Metal Roof Contractors. We are in Edmond, centrally located. Metal Roof Contractors has been in business for a little over 21 years now. I just came aboard. I was a structural engineer before in 2014, and then came over to Metal Roof Contractors and bought the business from the previous owners in 2016. So I've been at the helm since January 2016, and hopefully we've got many great years ahead of us. Staires came to present at one of our trade organizations, American Subcontractors Associations. He came, presented, had a topic on time management, and just really intrigued with a lot of his ideas, loved his energy, and so that's how I heard, and that's how I got interested. He kind of brought up a lot of ideas that sounded really good to me. I just always felt a pressure to really organize our business. I just always had a desire to succeed and have responsibility, and to really harness that and organize it in such a way that I wasn't killing myself working 18 hours a day for the rest of my life. And so just my personality, I felt I needed some help with accountability, and also just some help, best practice organization ideas. And so that's what I thought we could really find with seeking the Staires initiative. I think the initial concepts were being able to manage and run a business while not being present. I think that's the goal for every leader, every entrepreneur. And I knew from just firsthand that I was a long way from that. And so I think just that idea and having some help getting down that path, I figured I'm pretty confident in my abilities. I'd get there someday, but I'd rather someday be sooner than way down the road. It's weekly meetings, and I would say very dependable. So, not really knowing how it works before I got into it, and just hearing that it'd be a 1-hour phone call, I was a little skeptical at first. But having that regular time and always, that's enough. Just that once a week, knowing that I've got homework to do and somebody's going to call me out if I don't do it. I think that's been the best thing for my personality. So I think that up front it's very overwhelming. Think of how much work there is to do. I think after a year looking back, I think we've accomplished a lot. Very excited for the future, the possibilities, and kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't think we're anywhere close, but I feel like we'll get there. They're valuable in that I think most importantly to me is the accountability. So, I know I already said it, but that keeps me moving, keeps me progressing. But, I think also kind of taking that time to look back, see what progress that we've made, that is encouraging. And I think especially at first you get those kind of early returns on just small things that you do or change, really kind of gives you confidence going forward and keeps you going. I'd say the biggest thing that's measurable is our hiring procedures. Really felt like we've hired 2 A players, really 3. We had kind of that tragedy, but hired probably 3 A players within the last 6-7 months that have really changed how I spend my time. And I feel confident going forward that if we've got to replace somebody or add somebody as we grow, I have a confidence in that we can do that. I'd say nothing measurable now, but really excited for the future in sales. Really just using the Dream 100, we're going to, we've made 50 to 55 phone calls, and we've got 2 really great leads. And so I feel like that's kind of been a year coming for us to get to that point. But really feels great to know that if we're looking for work, we've got to make 50 to 60 phone calls, and we can make it happen. It's probably about half my day that I am not in the fire.
There we go.
Where I was at this point last year. It's been great. It's been great. Before I got into it, my vision of what getting to the destination looked like was kind of a dream. I think it's still pretty far off, but I feel like it's tangible now. That's, and like I said before, just knowing that I've got to hold myself accountable and I've got help doing that really keeps us moving forward and not going backwards. I'd say everything in the sales side.
Okay.
Coming into this business with no business management experience or so really any sales experience, and even our company has all been based on bid work or indirect sales.
Yeah.
So all these sales concepts, and I don't know, I think they're intuitive. They make sense. It's just awkward and it's hard work. I think it's human nature to not, those aren't fun looking at it on paper. But I think once you master those and see that if you do these things, you're ahead of most of your competition, you start getting confidence, and it also kind of gives you a good feeling at night knowing that if I do all these things that have been successful for other people, we will also be successful. For me, the knowing that there's as much opportunity out there that I can get. It's just a matter of working for it. And so I think the way that I measure success is, it's not necessarily what money we bring in, but how effectively can I manage it, and it just takes time. So I don't know what the best way how to encourage somebody. Maybe it's just having the end game in mind. I know at the end I don't want to be, construction is a grind. I don't want to be 60 years old and beat up and looking back and thinking I wish I had more time. And so if I know what that looks like, that's kind of my motivation.
Cool.
So if somebody's struggling with it, I'd say you've got to find a motivation to get you to that end game or whatever motivates you. That's what I would say drove me to the calendars and mapping out my time. When you're at the top, it's helpful to have somebody else to bounce ideas off of, or to tell you you're crazy, or give you a dose of reality. And so if you don't have anybody else doing that, then it's pretty easy to just kind of fall in line with everybody else. And not to say that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, people do that all the time, all over. But I think part of the reason you get into it for the responsibility and success is to, in the end, manage a business from somewhere else or sell it or, whatever that might be. So
okay.
I feel like that's been